Welcome back into Boston has entered the chat. Oh, this is a tweet right here from my man Gordo. Check this out. Would Aroldis Chapman ever play for the Yankees again? Quote, no way. Not even dead, brah. If I were told I was being traded to New York, I'd pack my things and go home. I'll retire right on the spot if that happens. I'm not crazy. Never again. I dealt with a lot of disrespect there. To that I say, Chappie, nothing but love, respect, lobster rolls and chowder here, my friend. Stay here forever, please. And I hope Nat Gordon stays here forever of the Play Tessie podcast. Welcome back, Big Swole.
Thanks for having me, guys. I love that quote. I love when Red Sox players hate the Yankees. We haven't had this in forever.
That's right.
We got two guys this year with Chapman and Dobbins before. Yep. Basically, Dobbins said he'd rather, if the Yankees were the last team to offer him a contract, he'd retire.
Yep.
And Chapman said he would rather die.
Yes.
And that's the way it should be.
That's a perfect ad. But no, the stance says it all. I always talk about the stance. Could you actually see that finish at that Yankee Stadium, whatever the new one is? It just doesn't feel right.
It doesn't.
Nothing about Yankees
I just hope he stays here forever. And I said this too, going to break. I said, listen, if this guy, he just signed an extension, right? I would not be shocked if at the end of this current contract he just signed, he signs another one. He's not aging that. No. It's incredible.
And he's happy here, and he's made a lot of money in this game.
And he's balling.
Yeah, and he's on a team that can win in a place that he likes, a place where he's comfortable, a place he's winning. By all means, they'll probably take it year by year because he is an older guy.
He's getting older.
But as you said, he's not aging. He still throws it triple-digit gas.
Yes.
Like the Red Sox need that at the back of the bullpen. As long as he can keep doing it, I don't see why he wouldn't keep staying or sticking around.
Okay, so let's talk about bats.
Love the bats.
I'm seeing a lot of Kyle Schwarber talk on my timeline. Anything cooking here? Is there something I should be looking forward to? Because
Did you manifest something?
I have prayed, as you know, Casey,
Yeah.
to the baseball gods for either him or Pete Alonso. To be fair, I'll take either one. But I'm seeing more Red Sox Schwarber talk. Is there something to that?
Yeah, it does feel like you've seen a little bit more Schwarber than Alonso. Doesn't mean it's highly one or the other, but yeah, you've seen the reports that the Red Sox love Kyle Schwarber. That's exactly where they should be. They should love Kyle Schwarber. That's a guy who has been here, who's shown you he can handle the market, can succeed in the market, can succeed into his 30s, coming off a 56 home run season. And I'll tell you, Travis, the Red Sox, after they traded Devers, 23rd in home runs. This is a team that needs power. Going into last season, you had Devers and Casas as your guys, as your 30-homer dudes, and Devers is gone. Casas is coming off a knee injury that we don't know what he's going to look like when he comes back, and we don't know when he's going to come back. This is a guy who's hit 56, who is coming off a 56 home run season, a guy who is a proven leader in a winning culture clubhouse in Philadelphia. In the words of Alex Cora, he impacted a lot of people in a short period of time in Boston.
Ooh.
This is the perfect fit. It's just a matter of, can you pry him away from Philadelphia? That's a big if. They're going to want to keep him.
Can you educate me on this? Because I know it was a different front office at that time. But at the time, I wasn't even here. And I was like, he's the perfect Red Sox player. And then he gets dealt. What was it, just money?
It was, at the time, they had J.D. Martinez under contract for one more year. And it's like, we could bring back Kyle Schwarber, but we don't want to play him in the field. And J.D. Martinez is the DH, and he's opting into his deal. Personally, if it were me, I would have just had him overlap for a year. Yeah. Kyle Schwarber was playing first base. He was playing a little left field.
Right.
Could have made it work for a year and kept Schwarber around, but they didn't think they could. And then a year later, they go out and sign Masataka Yoshida instead for basically the same AAV that Kyle Schwarber got in Philadelphia. And yeah, that was a big mess up there.
Yeah.
All right, so crazy thing, because we all know that the business comes with plenty of dramatics. If we were to find a reality in this sense, is there a grovel fee? And basically, at what price can we basically make him a Red Sox again?
Yeah, it's a weird one because he's entering his age 33 season, but coming off such a ridiculously good season. 56 home runs is unbelievable.
You just need him to hit here, too.
That makes a price point for itself, his home runs.
Right.
Yeah.
He's going to make a ton of money per year, over $30 million a year. But the question is, I was originally seeing 3 to 4 years. Now it's maybe it could get to 5. To me,
no way.
If you're going to pry him away from Philadelphia, you've got to get super uncomfortable. If you think you're getting this guy on a 3-year deal and the Phillies aren't just going to match what you offer there, you're mistaken. This is going to get in my opinion, to 4 or even to 5 years if you want to be the team to take him away from Philadelphia. You got to give a price that Dave Dombrowski in the Philadelphia Phillies don't want to match. Because in my opinion, if the Phillies match a price, he's just going to go back there.
So I know we've got money, but would this kind of infiltrate any sort of bring Bregman back and give Bregman everything that he needs, wants, and deserves kind of conversation?
Yeah, it's the $1 million question.
More than that.
Yeah.
It's more than $1 million question.
Yeah, it's true. There are ways to me, like, I mean, if the Red Sox want to spend on the level of, let's say, the Blue Jays, like, we're not even talking Dodgers, Mets, Yankees, like, we're talking like Blue Jays, Phillies. If they want to spend on that level, they can certainly afford both.
Yeah.
To me, it'll be a believe it when I see it to see the Red Sox get to that level of spending. They can stay under the second luxury tax threshold if they signed, a longer deal at 25-ish million AAV. That's maybe more a Pete Alonso deal. If you're going for Schwarber, it's probably getting into the 30s, and you might have to do some jumping jacks, some somersaults to make the money work. And definitely we're talking Masataka Yoshida, because if you sign Kyle Schwarber, Masataka Yoshida can't be on this roster.
Yeah.
No, for sure. Okay, I want to throw a curveball into the chat here.
No pun.
Well, we've been talking Phillies.
Yeah.
So because of that, the way my brain works, I'm just like, Phillies. There's something going on with Bryce Harper and that organization. Any chance, as you look into your crystal ball, that Bryce Harper could enter the chat for the Red Sox offseason?
It's a weird dynamic there with him right now. Like, I still need to see more before I think that there's a real chance that he could be traded, just because to me, like, that's the foundation of a team. That's the foundation of a locker room. That's the foundation of a lineup. And yeah, I know that he was hurt this year and didn't maybe produce the numbers that you're accustomed to from Bryce Harper, but he's still Bryce Harper. And yeah, it's weird that Dave Dombrowski would say so publicly how, I guess, sort of disappointed he was in Bryce's season, but
He kind of blamed him.
he did.
Nat, he kind of blamed him.
It was weird. It was weird. From a seasoned exec like Dave Dombrowski,
Yes.
he knows exactly what he's doing. But to me, I also think if you're going to trade a guy, why are you going to bash him publicly, and then try to maximize value? I don't know. Maybe it's to try to open Bryce's mind to a trade, but what, you're going to purposely fracture a relationship? Like, it's a weird strategy.
Bryce has been I want to be here my whole career.
Yeah.
So I think by doing that publicly, you're saying we may not want you here your whole career. So now, look, I covered Bryce. I'm not going to say he's petty. I'll say he's emotional.
Yeah, very emotional.
I'll say he's emotional. So, I mean, I'm just looking at that, and I'm watching that situation because let me reframe the question. Is Bryce Harper a good fit in the way Alex Bregman was a perfect fit for this team? Does Bryce Harper make sense for the Sox? Is he a great fit here?
Oh, absolutely. If he's available, the Red Sox should be all over it. I mean, this is a guy who, when he signed his contract, like, I'm sitting there in college, and I'm like, oh my God, he's going to be under contract with the Phillies into my 30s,
forever.
And it feels like it's forever. But right now, that contract, even off the year he had, which really wasn't bad.
It looks good.
It was a good season, but it's a good value contract, and he's a really good hitter, can play first base. Who knows? Maybe there is some outfield to be had there. I don't know. That was kind of a weird. He had the surgery, and then they just never let him touch the outfield grass again. I don't know about that, but good thing you can use a first baseman. You can use a middle of the order bat who can hit the ball out of the ballpark. Yeah. So if a guy can play first base and hit home runs, I'm in. And if he's Bryce Harper and he's the leader that Bryce Harper is, even better.
No concern about the young guys and getting. Bryce is larger than life personality-wise.
Yeah.
It's not a jerk thing with him, but he is a superstar. You have no concerns with that? With a Roman Anthony, with a Bryce Harper, is his shadow, does he cast too much of a shadow, maybe?
No, they'll play off of his passion.
Okay.
Because there's other passionate players in this clubhouse,
Yeah.
I believe. And some things that we've seen, when things get really tough for the Red Sox,
Yeah.
we've seen who those passionate players
That's, I guess, why I ask it. That's a
Yeah.
worry of mine and Alex Bregman is an unequivocal leader. And he's a we guy. He's not a me guy. I have some concerns about Bryce with that.
Yeah. I mean, I know you covered him back in D.C., but he feels like he's a different dude now.
He does.
He felt that way in D.C.
He was that way.
Yeah, it was. I don't know what changed. I mean, obviously, he's an adult now, and when he came up in D.C., he was a literal kid.
Yeah.
But Yeah, he is the unquestioned. Him and Schwarber really the leaders of that Phillies clubhouse. I think it would be a good fit. I question if the Phillies would actually trade Bryce Harper. Like, it sounds crazy to even say.
I know.
Well, something that might fall underneath that, we know that when trade rumors start brewing, there's always names or there's clubs attached to it. And Phillies supposedly have an interest in a Jarren Duran, who's been part of a lot of trade conversations throughout this entire season. Like, would that be a potential possibility that could make one of those players end up as the Red Sox?
Yeah, I mean, Duran certainly available and on the market. The Red Sox are going to discuss outfield trades all offseason, and I think they will end up dealing one of their outfielders, and Duran kind of seems like the most likely of that group to go, and the Phillies have been connected there in the past. It would be a weird deal because I don't think you would see a Duran Harper deal necessarily. Like, if you're dealing Duran to the Phillies, to me, you're getting prospects to backfill some of the prospects that you're shipping out to get the starting pitcher you need.
Okay.
Like, if you're trading Duran, to me, like, it's got to be with the pursuit of a starting pitcher. Okay. Like that number 2 starting pitcher.
Right.
If
that's
you can,
the value that needs to be traded there.
Yeah, like if you can get that number 2 for a deal involving Duran and probably some more stuff added onto it, you go for it. And if that deal isn't there and the teams you're talking to want prospects, you trade them prospects, and then you trade one of the outfielders to bring prospects back to restock the farm, because, you know, back-to-back off seasons of big trades, you know, one for Crochet and potentially one for another number 2 this offseason. It drains your system. Yeah. But the good news is you do have 4 outfielders for 3 spots, and you can restock.
Yeah, but Nat, I look at, because I'm someone who defended Jarren Duran. I probably did it with you on the show around the trade deadline of people were saying, well, you gotta ship him and get something back, get a pitcher. I remember Dylan Cease was one of the big rumors. And the Red Sox decided to keep him, which I defended at the time, because I said he's a spark plug. He's the energy of this team. After that playoff performance, or lack thereof, I actually don't know if his stock is as high as we think it is in terms of trades. Don't you think, because of the playoff performance, you would need him and some prospects to maybe go get a Joe Ryan or a bona fide number 2 starter? I do.
Yeah.
I don't think the playoffs, in other words, I don't think his playoff performance helped his stock in terms of trading him.
No, it certainly didn't. I mean, you talk about his value. I mean, obviously it was at its highest last offseason, and it was also higher at the trade deadline than it is right now.
Yes.
I mean, the playoff performance doesn't help. The losing year of control doesn't help. He was playing his best ball of the year right at the trade deadline last year, and the Padres were making a big push for him. Now they made a big trade for Mason Miller. They have less in the system. I mean, they can still put together a trade for him, but it's a little bit. You'd have to get a little bit more creative than you would have had to at the deadline. The value is not what it was, but to me, I mean, a former MVP candidate with 3 years of control left on the deal, who has shown that he can perform in any market. That has value. It's not what it was. Like, this is a guy who was coming off an MVP caliber season 2 seasons ago now. He was not that this past year. But this is still a guy with 3 years of control. Teams want controllable offense, controllable outfield. He's shown he can do it in Boston, and I think there is going to be a market for him, even if it's not what it would have been had you traded him, let's say, at the deadline.
Yeah, well, I mean, to know that your stats can mess with your value, so can injuries. And Tristan Casas, the unexpected of, like, what he'll be when he returns, as you mentioned earlier, like, is that a piece that they might move on from to try to make some moves happen to bolster this clubhouse?
You know, the Casas thing is so weird because it felt like last offseason they were pretty eagerly shopping him, it kind of felt like. And I didn't quite understand it at the time. And now, you know, with basically missing practically 2 seasons, I don't know what value there is to get from him in a trade right now. Like, I just don't know what teams are going to give significant value to a first baseman who is coming off
who can't be healthy.
Yeah, who really hasn't shown he can be healthy. But to me, there is still potential there. Like, we don't know what he's going to be coming back from a severe knee injury.
Yeah.
To me, I would rather take the chance on letting him play it out, and he still has minor league options. So if it comes to it, he can work through things in the minors to start the season. I think there's more to be unlocked than there is to get in a trade with him right now. I don't know what else you're going to get. But if a team with a number 2 starter says, like, we want Tristan Casas to be the last piece in a deal, to get you that, let's say, Sandy Alcantara or Joe Ryan.
Who else?
Like, you're not going to say no to that, but it's not like you're going to get one of those guys with Tristan Casas being the main piece just because of the injury-riddled seasons he's coming off of.
All right, we'll let you go with this. I mean, the World Series is over at this point, right? After that marathon last night.
No.
First of all, what was your original prediction? I forget. And then where are you now? Because I feel like it's over. Dodgers in 5.
Dodgers.
What was your original?
My original prediction was picking the Dodgers, but I didn't think it was going to be an easy series, and I thought it was going to go 6 or 7 games.
Oh, wow.
But I'm sticking with that. Like, if the Blue Jays had won that game last night, if they extended it one more inning,
they didn't do it, Nat.
Got into Yamamoto, and they didn't do it.
They didn't do it.
They didn't do it. I still think the series is far from over. It's going to go back to Toronto. It's going to be at least 6 games. I know the Dodgers bullpen showed out last night. I still think that the key to this series is just get into the bullpen before the 6th inning and see what happens, because they are hittable.
You should be the Blue Jays skipper then, because I'm telling you, if I'm the skipper of the Blue Jays, I'm like, hey, man, we did it was a great season, guys. Let's back our stuff up. We're good. Where's that white towel?
It's 2-1, Travis.
Right.
All right.
This is why
It's
you're here
2-1.
and you're not in anybody's clubhouse.
You got Shohei on the
pissed at me if
mound.
the coach was like, hey, as a matter of fact, we can start planning vacays and everyone's good.
Yeah, Cancun on 3, guys. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Nat, we appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming up. Hey, let's keep our eye on this Bryce Harper thing. I'm just saying.
You need yourself some Bryce in Boston. I can see it.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, and what do you know?
Where there's smoke, there's fire. That's all I'm saying.
Weird situation.
When we come back here on Boston Has Entered the Chat, the Patriots are on the come up here in these NFL streets. But what if I told you they can get even better at the trade deadline? We'll talk about our wish list next, right here on Boston Has Entered the Chat.